Good afternoon. What a beautiful Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Hey, I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and yes, it's the show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems. Listen, I apologize. I'm coming at you with a ton of energy. We just had the best, my God, the best webinar I've ever hosted in the history of my career. Over 300 people online, massive health transformations, great questions, good engagements, and here's what I'm thinking, okay? So, I'm going to take the first 30 minutes of this show today, okay? So this is only today, and I don't normally do this, guys. I don't usually let you into backstage access to live events, if you missed registration, but it was so good. How can you not want to lose weight fast and get your energy back and have more vitality and cut medications, okay? It's our metabolic makeover, the new year, new you. It was such an awesome event. So for the first 30 minutes of today, okay, it's till 3:30 on the dot. If you text your name and email to 704-906-2094, I'm going to give you free access to the webinar as if you were on it live this morning. Okay, it was north of 300 people. It was a beautiful webinar, and I don't know how else to share it to you other than it is what you're looking for. If you want to lose 20 pounds in the next 3 or 4 weeks, you can do that, okay? We talked about the number one restrictor in weight loss. We also went through the number one hindrance in self-healing. Why is it that it's always your doctor going, you need more meds and more meds and more meds? So I shared the reason why, that secret, the connection for self-healing. So if you want to hop on the webinar, it's free. It'll take you an hour. You can watch it at any time. But you have to text your name right now and your email right now to 704-906-2094. Only the next 30 minutes, guys. After that, in the vault, no access, and you'll have to register for my next webinar, which won't be till the end of February. So the number again, 704-906-2094. So as we talked about at the top of the hour, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Yes, pounds were shed, disease is dead, and you're going to be set free. What are we talking about today? Well, I have been challenged to talk about this thing called brain fog. So if you're watching our live streams, I usually hold up infographics and documents. So listen, take a moment, head on over to facebook.com/AskDrErnst. I don't use Facebook. Tyranny to the social medias. Great. YouTube.com/AskDrErnst. If you don't use that, twitter.com/AskDrErnst. Just whatever you need, Ask Dr. Ernst. Okay, so today I want to start off with an interesting way of taking a spin on this thing called brain fog, right? Brain fog. Okay, watch this. About 3 weeks ago, the New York Times put out an article that said there's a name for the blah you're feeling, and they call it languishing. So I'm going to read this just real quick, right? This is the author, so you got to understand this isn't really like a science journal. It's just a writer, okay? At first, I didn't recognize the symptoms that we all had that were in common. People would say they had trouble concentrating. Colleagues that were either vaccinated or were not would say, I'm falling apart. Okay, it wasn't burnout. We had our energy. It wasn't depression. We weren't diagnosed, but we just felt this somewhat joyless aimlessness, lack of focus, lack of drive, almost as if you're disconnected from purpose and passion. They call it languishing, a strange sense of stagnation and emptiness. It feels as if you're muddling through your day, looking at your life with a foggy windshield. Do you see it? The fog, the brain fog, the forgetfulness, the fatigue. They're claiming it was the dominant emotion of 2021 and that it sets the theme for 2022. And I think that's ridiculous, okay? To think that what you are going through is considered normal such that they came up with a word. Oh, you're just languishing. It'll pass. Watch out. Brain fog is a real thing. And it's not something that's medically recognized. You're not going to go to the ICD-10 codes and find your doctor diagnosing you with brain fog. That's what you have. That's a symptom. And like everything, symptoms have a cause. And we don't want to mask symptoms. No, 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 no. We want to get rid of them the right way by getting to the roots, what's causing it, okay? So one challenge I have to talk to you guys about is this concept that you may have heard called long COVID. And what is long COVID? What is short COVID? Okay, well, long COVID is the after effects of you having a COVID infection, getting through it, and then being like, yeah, but I still I don't feel, I was here, COVID, and I'm not back. I'm at like 80%. How do I get my other 20%? Okay, so long COVID symptoms, fatigue, brain fog. You get it? Headaches, sleep disturbances, dizziness. Look at this infographic I found. The most common long COVID symptoms. Most of us are tired, and we can't concentrate, and our heads hurt, and we can't sleep, and we get dizzy. My God, the number of people I've seen in my clinic coming in, I'm vertigo, I'm dizzy, what's going on? It's called long COVID, people. And you can fix it. So today, clearing brain fog, if you're watching the infographics, right? Like, that's what I want. Like, this guy is not only happy, but he's glowing, and he's got yellowness around him, energy, brightness, vitality. This is what a lot of you are like, ugh, I just don't feel good, but I got to go to work, and I'm struggling, right? So I'm going to see if I can do this. I got a minute till the commercial, okay? So what are the issues? Ready? It could be your thyroid. It could be the fact you're not sleeping well. Your hormones could be out of balance. You may have an infection, not virus, but yeast. It could be stress. It can be medications. It could be something called SIBO, S-I-B-O. We're going to talk about all these today and how you can become a champion for your health and crush this thing called brain fog or long COVID or whatever. And here's what I'm going to highly recommend. My God, today's webinar, I did this morning. It was phenomenal. Weight loss, brain fog, forgetfulness, medications, everything back on track again. I mean, if you listen to what I teach, you guys, you're going to be your own doctor. You're going to transform your health. But again, like everything, you got to take the action. You got to want it. Okay, I know it works. I've been doing this for 15 years. I've seen countless of thousands of people heal. And all you have to do is pick up the phone right now. Don't call it because this is a special offer. All right, it's a text, your name and your email, 704-906-2094. 704-906-2094. Name and email, and then bam, you get access to the webinar today. We'll be right back.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstcbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
How come there are people who drink a pint of whiskey a day for 20, 30 years, and at the end of it only 20 or 30% become cirrhotic? What happened to the others? And we speculated, we hypothesized, oh, it's the enzyme, alcoholic dehydrogenase made by the stomach. Maybe it's different, maybe it's genes, maybe it's polymorphism. The answer appears to be coffee. If you drink that much alcohol and drink 1 cup of regular coffee a day, 20% reduction in alcoholic cirrhosis risk, 2 cups 40%, 4 cups 80%. It's not a license to drink heavily.
Right.
And drink coffee and protect your liver. You know, you could still get Korsakoff psychosis, cardiomyopathy, pancreatitis, kill people on the road,
Sure.
ruin your marriage, but it does protect the liver. It's pretty amazing.
Here's a secret your grocery store does not want you to know. At ThriveMarket.com, get up to 50% off all your organic groceries delivered to your door for free. Shop organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, and paleo. And get a free jar of coconut oil. Thrive Market. Wholesome products, wholesale prices. Get your free coconut oil today only at ThriveMarket.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst. And, you know, I say welcome back, but maybe you're just tuning in. Welcome. We love the fact that you're here. Today's topic is on brain fog, or what is now being termed languishing. I talked about this at the top of the hour. So the New York Times put out an article at the end of December 2021 where they said that that sensation that you can't shake, right? The dizziness, the headaches, the brain fog, the tiredness, the fact that you can't sleep and that you didn't feel like you got back to 100%, the languishing, the zone between depression and hopelessness, right? So you're not depressed, you're not hopeless, but you're in between. You're like, I'm stuck, okay? According to most research articles that I've read to prep for this show today, it is an extremely common thing. And listen, it happened before COVID. It's just now people are like, ugh, I don't like this, okay? Number one symptom that most of us are dealing with today is we're tired and we're fatigued. Trust me, I talk to people all the time. Man, Dr. Ernst, if I could have the energy you have, how do you have this? Pay attention, I'm going to teach you today. If I could have the focus and the memory and the concentration, how do you remember everything? I mean, my God, guys, I don't know if you know this or not. Like, I have pages upon pages upon pages of notes that I prep in order for this show. I don't usually sit here and read it line by line because I remember. And some people are like, well, how do you do that? I can't even remember my own name. I don't even remember my kids' names. I got lost while driving to my office. That's called, what is it called? Fatigue, brain fog, forgetfulness, headaches. See, I just had it right there for a half a second. It just happened. Headaches and sleep disturbances and dizziness, right? So what is this thing called brain fog, and how come so many of us have it, and what do you do to be like that guy? Okay, if you're listening on the airways, go to facebook.com/AskDrErnst, youtube.com/AskDrErnst. Like, we are a live stream video broadcasting show as well. All right, so that guy right there, man, he's happy. He's elated. Look at him. Yeah, that's what we want. We want to be happy, healthy, whole, and healing. We want to lose weight and make our doctor say, how the heck did you do what you just did? Well, let's dive deep now, okay? Oh, by the way, I forgot. Oh, my gosh. See, there's my brain fog, right? Nah, this is excitement and called distraction. This morning, I did one of the best webinars I've ever hosted in my entire life. We opened it up to our WBT listeners. We were telling everybody, like, I'm going to help you lose 20 pounds in 20 days or 30 pounds in 30 days. We're going to get your energy back. We're going to get you off your medications. We're going to get your vitality and your essence. And if you're looking for a health change, you got it. It was this morning at 10 a.m. and hundreds of people were online. We got massive response, great engagement, really good questions. So if you missed it, okay, between now and 3:30 p.m. today, you can text your name and email, and you get it for free. So you get access to it as if you were there. So 704-906-2094. God, please take a moment. Just pick up your phone and text that number, 704-906-2094. Put your name and email in there, hit send, and then my team will send you a link, and you can watch it today. You can watch it tomorrow, okay? Boom, it's yours, and it's free. It's going to change your life. All right, what causes this brain fog issue? Well, number one, it could be that you had COVID and you got through it, but you didn't really fully recover. And what I mean by that is this thing called long COVID. Okay, there's not that many people talking about this in the right way. And long COVID, according to some research, says fatigue, brain fog, headaches, sleep disturbances, and dizziness linger for up to a year. That's insane if you ask me. All right, I had COVID back in 2021, and it was like 3 days, okay? Boom, boom, done. And yes, I had this long COVID thing for maybe 3 weeks, and then bam, back, okay? So I'm going to teach you what I did. I'm going to teach you what we do with our patients on how to not just get rid of this long COVID brain fog, but just brain fog in general, okay? A lot of us deal with brain fog. How would you know, first of all, what is brain fog? What does it feel like, okay? Well, fatigue, irritability, lack of concentration, headaches, forgetfulness, having a difficult time remembering. I had one client say to me that after he started our therapy programs, he's like, man, I'm so productive at the office. I'm doing 16 things at once. I could barely do 3 before. That was brain fog, and now he's clear-headed. Anxiety, confusion, difficulty sleeping, hard times exercising because you're just so tired you don't want to do it. And then when you do it, you get all sinusy and congested, your ears clog, and you're like, oh, I feel terrible. Used to feel great when I work out. Now I feel terrible. Okay, so those are the symptoms, and guess what? 99.999% of Americans would probably say, that's me right there. So Dr. Ernst, what's causing it? Well, it's not just one thing, okay? It could be your thyroid. There is a hormone called reverse T3, and I don't want to get too nitty-gritty into this because it's a whole show in and of itself, but there's something called reverse T3 dominance. Google it. Go look it up. Guess what the symptoms of reverse T3 dominance are? Everything I just said to you. Difficulty losing weight, fatigue, irritability, headaches, trouble remembering things, low motivation, anxiety, confusion, depression, difficulty sleeping. That's called reverse T3 dominance, guys. It could be a thyroid problem. Well, my doctor just ran my thyroid. They said it's fine. They're not looking at reverse T3. Well, I take thyroid medications, Dr. Ernst. That can't be me because my numbers are good. They still didn't check reverse T3. And here's the kicker for all of you thyroid people. The Synthroid, levothyroxine, Armothroid, Nature-Throid, whatever you're taking, it can be converted into reverse T3. So you might be medicating, but your reverse T3 levels are going up, and you're going, I feel like I'm falling apart, but I'm doing all the right stuff. Anybody ever been like that? So it could be your thyroid. It could be that you're not sleeping really well. I don't know if you know this or not, but most people, when they wake up in the morning, if you have a significant other, a loved one, or someone that you're in the bed with, right? It's usually like, hey, how'd you sleep last night? It's like common courtesy, isn't it? Like, hey, loved one, how'd you sleep? And you're going to get one of 2 answers. I slept well or I didn't sleep well. And see, it's subjective. So I don't know if you guys know this or not. There's technology today that can actually show you how well you slept. This is my sleep last night. All right, I'm not trying to brag. Okay, I work on this stuff. I work on my health. Okay, my first sleep score when I did this study was in the 80s, and it was telling me I wasn't sleeping very well. Okay, so I have a piece of technology called an Aura ring. You can see it right here. Those of you on the live stream. So it's a ring, and it's got all kinds of tech inside of it. I don't know if you can see that. It's probably too fuzzy. Anyway, it has tech inside of it, LED lights and sensors and accelerometers and all this kind of stuff. So it measures. Now watch this. It'll show you how much good sleep you got. What was the total amount of time you actually were out cold at night? So last night for me, 7 hours and 57 minutes. How much deep sleep did I get? An hour and 10 minutes where I was like, and then how much REM? That's what you want, guys, right there. That's the secret. Can you see it? REM sleep. Most adults get barely an hour of REM sleep. When I first started this, mine was like 48 minutes. Then I started working on things and techniques that help to make you sleep better. 2 hours and 33 minutes, my eyes were going ding, 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 which means I'm actively dreaming. I'm in a state of health and repair and regeneration. So how do you get one of these reports for yourself? You go to aura.com. This is a shameless plug. I have no affiliations. I am not getting paid to say this. I got this ring for Christmas. I've been wearing it, and I love it. And I thought, you know what? You should look into one of these. An Aura ring will help you to get better sleep. So can lack of sleep make your brain foggy? Sure. I think that makes sense. Hormones out of balance. We talked about reverse T3, but here's the kicker. Insulin and cortisol. If insulin's high and cortisol is high, you're going to be brain foggy and you're going to have issues because your body's metabolism is inappropriately working. You're what I call a sugar burner. You're a highly inflamed, stressed individual, and the hormones that we need to feel good, serotonin, dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine, they're like bouncing all over the place. And so you go, my brain's not working. I think you would probably agree with me that a dietary deficiency or a lack of really clean, healthy fats and proteins and things like that can affect your brain. Okay, there's key nutrients that you need: branched chain amino acids, essential amino acids, non-essential amino acids, fatty acids, multivitamins, macronutrients, micronutrients, okay? Basically, your diet controls how focused you are. If you don't believe me in this, let's do a little test, okay? For the next 30 days, I want you to eat as clean as you can. Fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, nothing from a box at all. It has to be whole, real foods. What was that again? Fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, clean proteins, and that's it. Okay, so you cut out all the crud in the process, okay? And I want you to do it for 30 straight days. All right, now ready? On day 31, I want you to go to your favorite fast food restaurant and get your favorite meal that you used to eat and eat it. And watch what happens in the next 6 to 8 hours. Ugh. Okay, my stomach and I can't remember stuff. Okay, boom, right there. The brain fog comes back almost immediately. So diet and vitamin deficiencies, we're going to go deeper into this, so don't panic, okay? And then stress. I mean, I think that makes sense, right? The more stressed out you are, you tend to be more foggy and forgetful. You can't remember stuff. If you're really stressed out, you even tend to do things you didn't even think you would do. Medications, unfortunately, can cause brain fog. It's a side effect, okay? If you ever listen to the classic medication commercial, right? Fatigue and headaches, back pain, neck pain, loss of stability, loss of bowel controls, right? Death, okay? So, like, it can cause brain fog. And something that most people aren't addressing, which is a chronic underlying infection, either yeast or bacteria or fungus or mold being in your body, can suck the living daylights out of your mind and give you brain fog because it affects your intestine. So if you have SIBO or SIFO, a fungal infection, or you've got any sort of bacterial disruption, all of the hormones that you need for your brain to work, most of them, like 95% of them, are not made in your brain. They're made in your gut. They travel through the vascular tissues and your vagus nerve. So you're going to see why one of the best fixes, I'm going to tease you, the best fix for brain fog is to make sure your spinal system, brain, spinal cord, nerve pathways, and gut are healthy and healing and communicating. And when I come back from this next commercial break, I'm going to show you the #1 technique to make brain fog disappear in sometimes as little as like minutes to hours. And then we're going to break each of these ingredients down as the causes and the cures when we come back from this commercial break. Okay, guys, so we're getting really close to that like 3:30 time frame right now. So this is it. Okay, this is your last chance. Free backstage access to the webinar that I hosted today. Text your name and email to 704-906-2094. Why should you text it? If you want to lose 20 pounds in 20 days, 30 in 30, or cut a medication in half or gone in as little as 90 days, that was the topic of my webinar. The 3 steps to self-healing, the 3 steps to a metabolic makeover, the 3 steps to you healing. And it just requires 3 steps. Pick up your phone, text your name and your email, and you're in. Hey, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. When we come back, how to crush this brain fog thing naturally, and my #1 secret that's going to make it disappear in little than maybe like, I don't know, a couple hours. It's going to go away that same day. Again, the phone number for the backstage access to my webinar, 704-906-2094. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We will be right back.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstcbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
How come there are people who drink a pint of whiskey a day for 20, 30 years, and at the end of it, only 20 or 30% become cirrhotic? What happened to the others? And we speculated, we hypothesized, oh, it's the enzyme, alcoholic dehydrogenase made by the stomach. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's genes. Maybe it's polymorphism. The answer appears to be coffee. If you drink that much alcohol and drink 1 cup of regular coffee a day, 20% reduction in alcoholic cirrhosis risk. 2 cups, 40%. 4 cups, 80%. It's not a license to drink heavily.
Right.
And drink coffee and protect your liver. You know, you could still get Korsakoff psychosis, cardiomyopathy, pancreatitis, kill people on the road, ruin your marriage, but it does protect the liver. It's pretty amazing.
Here's a secret your grocery store does not want you to know. At ThriveMarket.com, get up to 50% off all your organic groceries delivered to your door for free. Shop organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, and paleo. And get a free jar of coconut oil. Thrive Market. Wholesome products, wholesale prices. Get your free coconut oil today only at ThriveMarket.com.
So this is the difference between biodynamic and conventional farming. Just look at the difference in vineyards here. You have very green grass and herbs and life growing, and then dead soil over here. So this is a conventional vineyard where they spray pesticides, they use a lot of tractors to pull up the soil. This soil is dead, it's dry. There's no life. This is Klaus's vineyard. It's farmed biodynamically. Everything is picked by hand and they don't use any chemicals. So there's life, there's green grass, everything grows. This is the big disparity between conventional farming and biodynamic farming, and you can see it perfectly side by side. We prefer this wine, of course, because this wine is dead. There's nothing living in it.
Good afternoon. Hey, it's Saturday, and you're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and yes, it's the show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems. Today, we have this amazing topic. Okay, I love it because I've seen so many people bounce back from this condition called brain fog, that chronic forgetfulness, tiredness, etc. We want to go from this, see his kind of like foggy brain, and he's stressed out, and he's sweating, and wow, there must be a fire going on. Can you guys hear that? Okay, brain fog and, forgetfulness and stress and sweat and ugh. You can see them, right? How many of you feel like this all the time? How many of you are like, no, man, I'm so tired that when I sleep, I can't even fall asleep. I can't remember even what day today is. I'm having trouble. Where did my keys go? I don't know if you know this or not. All this location technology, like the little things you can put on your key tags so you can like ding them. Like that stuff didn't exist 40 years ago because brain fog didn't exist. Nobody lost their keys. Nobody remembered or forgot who they were, what their kids' names were. It is an issue of epidemic proportions today, because we are destroying our health from within without even knowing it. Okay, I talked to you at the top of the hour that there are some major causes of brain fog, including long COVID. It's this kind of issue where you recover, thank God, okay, you didn't die, and now you're here, but you're like, I'm not quite back. My taste isn't perfect. It's still just, and my smell didn't fully come back, and I'm getting these low-grade headaches, and my fatigue is through the roof. But I got tested, and they say there's nothing in my nose or throat. No COVID. Okay, so the diagnosis is gone, but the issues are still there. That's called long COVID brain fog. A lot of people are dealing with that. We're going to show you how to fix that in a second. Underactive thyroid, lack of good sleep, hormonal imbalances, vitamin or nutrient deficiencies, stress, medications, SIBO, bacterial overgrowth, SIFO, fungal overgrowth within your gut. So what do we need to do? All right, well, number one, ready for this? Your brain requires a tremendous amount of nutrients, but most importantly, it needs oxygen, which is blood, right? Nutrients, oxygen, blood, and it needs to get all of the cerebral spinal fluid out. So I want you to picture this, right? There is a drainage port in the back of your skull. It's kind of like a toilet where if you flush it, everything clears out, and now that toilet bowl is clean. At least you get the idea. Okay, so the water's clear and there's nothing in it. Okay, so your brain, I hate to say it, is like a toilet bowl. And all throughout the day, it's filling up with gunk because you're thinking and you're active, and some of you are taking medications, which makes it gunkier, and some of you are eating bad food, which makes it gunkier. So the stagnation in the brain has to drain through the back of your neck. It's called your foramen magnum. It's a small hole where your spinal cord goes through it, your brainstem goes through it, and all the spinal fluids drain into that section, and then it's distributed through your body. And I know it sounds gross, but you're going to urinate it out or you'll defecate it out. And welcome to how your body works. Now watch. What happens if the fluids in your brain are stagnant? So all that cerebral spinal fluid, which has all these metabolic byproducts, doesn't drain down your neck. What would make it do that, Dr. Ernst? Why isn't it draining properly? Great question. Okay, ready? The alignment of your skull on your first cervical bone is called the atlanto-occipital junction. I know it's a fancy word, right? It just means the skull and your first bone. So your occiput, which is the back of your neck, well, actually, technically the back of your skull, and the first bone, C1, atlas, atlanto-occipital. Do you see it? Okay, so anyway, the alignment of those two bones determines how open that hole is. And so guess what the number one thing that fixes brain fog? Chiropractic care. Getting your spine adjusted and realigned. Oh, God, Dr. Ernst, I don't like it when people crack my neck. Then don't go to one that cracks necks. Okay, you crack eggs before you cook them, so you broke the shell. I don't go to chiropractors that crack necks either because I don't want it to be broken. Well, I don't like when they snap and twist them. Well, guess what? You snap a branch when you break it, and you twist things like a towel when you're trying to dry it out. Don't go to one that snaps and cracks or pops or twists. Well, what kind of chiropractor should I go to? An adjusting chiropractor, someone who actually sets the bone in its normal alignment. There's none of that kind of... Okay, and it's what we do. We use instruments. And here's the thing. When you realign the upper cervical bones, so the occiput and the atlas, now the brain drains. But even more importantly, the blood flow is restored. There are studies upon studies of this. The number one reason people are brain fog is they don't have enough blood flowing into their brain. There's not enough oxygen, not enough nutrients, so the brain is diminished from the supply of oxygen and nutrients, so it's starving, and the fluids that wrap around the brain are stagnant and mucky and dirty, and they're not draining properly, so you just need to flush the toilet. Okay, a true structural chiropractic adjustment, which means you get an x-ray in advance, they measure the spaces, they use an instrument, ours is called an arthrostim, they reset the alignment, and they re-x-ray you the same day to determine that the alignment was reset. That is how you flush the brain, the toilet analogy. That's how you get the fluids going back again. So the number one secret for clearing your brain fog is go visit a chiropractor. Go to a structural chiropractor. If you need help doing that, go to AskDrErnst.com. We have a contact us button. Maybe you could just let me know where you are, and I can help you find the ones that do it the right way. Okay, none of this kind of stuff, right? That's the wrong kind of chiropractic. I mean, I've met people who are like, I've been going to chiropractor for years. They never took an x-ray. They just adjust me where my pain is. Yeah, red alert. You should leave that office and find someone who's more specific and structural, in my opinion. Okay, I am a chiropractor. I'm a functional medicine doctor. I have degrees in all kinds of, functional medicine, integrative healthcare, detoxification, chelation, and chiropractic. And the thing is I've seen that, unfortunately, the rack and crack, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. And then turn on your side. Okay, that's okay, but it's not going to structurally reset your spine. It's not going to get your long COVID symptoms gone. It's not going to make your brain fog go away. So number one way to fix this brain fog, get more blood flowing to your brain, get more oxygen to your brain, flush the fluids out, get the atlanto-occipital bones realigned, and all else follows. If you need more information about that, right, my webinar that I talked about, everything is in there. Text your name and email, 704-906-2094. I'll give you free backstage access. I know it's after 3:30. I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but you know what? Right now, last chance. You got 40 seconds. 38, 37. That's all I have left before a commercial. 704-906-2094. What do we need? Name, email, send. And then you'll get the backstage access. You can watch it whenever you want, and you'll see everything I just talked about with the structural reset and how it doesn't just clear brain fog. It gets rid of fatigue. It gets rid of headaches. It'll help you sleep. Your dizziness goes away. You'll lose weight. You'll cut your medications pretty much by yourself, and it's free. 704-906-2094. When we come back, the rest of the steps like I talked to you about. What about this thyroid thing? What about the sleep? How do I optimize that? All when we return. 704-906-2094. We'll be right back.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstscbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. more antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
Well, it is now that time, the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. And I, your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, am going to reveal to you the secrets behind destroying brain fog, having your focus, memory, attention, energy coming back in an immense way. So much so that people will come up to you and say, my God, what have you done? You look so different. You look so energized. I want what you have. I don't want to feel languishing anymore. If you're just tuning into our broadcast, languishing is a term derived by the New York Times in late December 2021. It describes the feeling between stagnation and emptiness, the muddling through your days. The idea that you're looking through a foggy windshield and you're struggling to be your 100% self. They claim, whoever wrote this article in the New York Times, December of 2021, that it was the predominant emotion of the year 2021, and it can be the dominant emotion of 2022, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, we don't want languishing, we don't want brain fog, we don't want fatigue, we don't want headaches. We want optimum health and well-being, vibrance and life, weight loss being a side effect, medications coming down, energy, vitality coming back, and you doing that by yourself because, of course, you're the doctor. You know, you're the one who's supposed to heal yourself. If you're waiting for your insurance company to do it, they're not. If you're waiting for pharmaceutical companies to come out with a pill that's going to make you well, they're not. That would be the biggest violation of their business model. Can you imagine that meeting? Hey, so we have a pill that's going to actually solve everyone's problems. We can make millions of dollars selling it. But then the problem becomes none of them are going to use any of the other medications that we've created. And so the CEO's like, no, scratch that. We make billions on people managing symptoms. If we heal them, we're done. Okay, so they're never going to do it. If you think the government's going to come out with the best regulations for diet, exercise, nutrition, etc., no, they're certainly not going to do it. So who does this? Does your primary doctor? Listen, I'm not bashing medicine. I hope you guys understand this. We need physicians for certain things, but going to your primary care doctor saying, get me well, is like going to a Toyota dealer saying, give me a Honda. They're just not going to do it because they're trained in management of disease. If you've been to any of my seminars, that's why I say they're called MDs. I know it stands for medical doctor, but it's a manager of disease, okay? They manage them. They don't get rid of them. And I know what you want. I want to get rid of my condition. I want to feel better, and I want to do it naturally. Pay attention. This is it. I've got 10 minutes to share with you the secrets on how to do this. It's more than enough time. Step number 1, blood flow, nutrients, and getting all the waste materials out of your brain. Chiropractic care is one of the easiest and best ways to do that. Why? Because it opens up what's called the atlanto-occipital junction. It's basically a small hole in the back of your skull. All of you have this, but but some of yours are compressed. And so the fluids aren't flowing in properly and they're not coming out properly. Kind of like a clogged toilet. I know it's a disgusting analogy, but that's basically some of your brains are clogged. And so the stagnation of the spinal fluids is why you can't feel good and have the energy and have the vitality. So what does a chiropractic adjustment do? You got to be careful who's given it to you. Is it done the right way, at the right time, with the right intention, in the right direction? So be careful for those ones that are out there going, no x-rays needed. I'm so good. I can feel it. No, you can't. It's not possible. The bone is so small and it's so deep in the tissues. The only way to know where it is to take an x-ray. So you need an x-ray done. And you need somebody who knows how to structurally do the adjustment. And usually what we recommend is you get it re-x-rayed afterwards. It makes sense, doesn't it? To confirm that it moved. Make sure that they did what they said they were going to do. At least that's how I think about it. If you need some help finding a chiropractor like that in the greater Carolina area, askdrernst.com, click contact, and then you can email us like maybe your location, zip code, etc. We'll help you find them. They are out there. They do exist. You just got to look for them. Okay, so number one, we get our spines aligned and adjusted so we have good blood flow and good cerebral spinal flow, and then our brain fog is going to start to diminish. Number two, we have to pay attention to this thing called thyroid. Okay, I know you might think that I don't have a thyroid problem. My doctor said I'm fine. Be careful. They only check the upstream superficial things, TSH, thyroid stimulation hormone, T4, which is an inactive hormone that is produced by your thyroid. And when they look at those two, they say, you're good. But like me, years ago, my thyroid was fine according to my doctor, but I had an issue with reverse T3 dominance and thyroid antibodies. So technically, medically, I was okay, but functionally, structurally, I was a wreck. And it's because my reverse T3 hormones were up. And guess what? The number one symptom of elevated reverse T3 hormone is brain fog, forgetfulness, tiredness, fatigue, can't lose weight. Does that sound like you? Brain fog, forgetfulness, tiredness, fatigue, can't lose weight. It's like 99% of Americans. So you might need to get your thyroid tested the right way. The problem with most endocrinologists is they don't check for this stuff. I've even had patients and clients say, well, I listened to your show. I called my doctor. I asked them, can you run a reverse T3 test? And they went, a what test? Some of them will even say, no. We just don't do that. So Google it. Read about it. RT3, reverse T3 dominance. If you want to get really specific, RT3 dominance and brain fog. And you can read all about it. Why does it make our brain foggy? Well, it's a hormone that slows everything down. It's a natural hormone. We need a small amount of it because it helps us to stay regulated. Look, if you had no brakes, you'd be all gas and you'd just burn up and die. You'd literally like work yourself to the ground, okay? So there's this relationship between T3 and T4, which makes you active and vibrant and alive, and reverse T3, which helps you to slow down. So if they flip, you're going to be slowing down and foggy, forgetful, and having issues, and so we just want to bring them back into normal balance. How do we do that? Well, that's a whole show in and of itself. Maybe next week I'll do how to lower reverse T3. You're going to have to let me know. Hey, Facebook, should we do this? Should we do a show on reverse T3 dominance and how to rebalance your energy and your vitality and your essence? You guys tell me. If I get enough comments and likes, we'll do it. Same thing on YouTube. The only difference is you guys have to leave an actual physical comment. Okay, so just tell me. Do you want to do it? All right, lack of sleep. Okay, it's not just did you sleep? Hey, I fell asleep. It's what quality of sleep. I showed at the top of the hour this thing that I get, a daily report. And it's a special piece of technology that I wear. It's called an Aura ring, and it'll show me how well I slept. So, guys, this is like rock star level sleep. 94 on a score of 100. Okay? Didn't wake up at all during the night, except for right there because my 5-year-old came into bed. I think it was around 6:30 in the morning, and he just jumped into bed, right? So I woke up. All right? And resting heart rates, you can see right here, my lowest heart rate was about 55 beats per minute. It should sort of go down while you go to sleep and then come up right before you go to sleep. 2.5 hours of REM, 1.1 hours of deep sleep, total time in bed. So, like, you got to get more specific than just, oh, I slept really well. Maybe you didn't, okay? So you can get the tech that can help you to see that. And why is sleep so important? Well, in 2013, the Journal of Clinical I'll try this again. In 2013, the Journal of Clinical Autonomic Research Society, that's a mouthful, found out that if you get poor sleep quality, not duration, but the quality of your sleep, if your score is in the 80s or 70s, that you are more likely to feel, ready for this, forgetful, cloudy, difficulty focusing or thinking or communicating. What is that? Brain fog. Why? Because at night, your brain is on high drive and the fluids are draining out of your skull at the quickest when you sleep. This is why they always say, like, go sleep it off. I've got a headache. Take a nap. It'll get better when you get up, because when you sleep is when you heal. So we've got to make your sleep better. Okay? Watch out for making yourself fall asleep with downers like CBD oils and melatonin and all this stuff. I know people say, well, it works. I'm sleeping really well, but it's a false artificial sense of sleep. Okay, if you need help falling asleep, go to AskDrErnst.com. Click the sleep button. Oh, no, not the sleep button. Type the word sleep. Hold on, I think there it goes. The camera got stuck. Type the word sleep in the what are you looking for, and we have tons of free stuff on how to maximize your sleep. All you got to do is go to AskDrErnst.com for that. Here's something that you may not associate with, like, wow, seriously, this is going to work, but ready for this? Food sensitivities are known to cause sleep issues and cause you to have brain fog issues. What does this mean? You're not allergic to it, but you're sensitive. You react to it as if it's an allergen. So I talked earlier about taking 30 days and eating nothing but really good, clean foods, proteins, fish, chicken, turkey, eggs, grass-fed meats, etc., fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and just staying there. Nothing else. If it's packaged, processed, boxed, convenient, out. Water only, nothing else. And do it for 30 days, and guess what happens? Now you go eat your standard fast food meal, and you're going to be like, oh, there's the brain fog, okay? So dairy, wheat, soy, rice, oats, nightshades, coffee, and eggs. And I know I said eat eggs earlier, but listen, those foods are the highest irritating to your system that can make you have brain fog because they stress out your gut. A food allergy or food sensitivity issue makes your gut leak. And then that leads to an antibody response, which creates inflammation and irritation. And then your brain literally is like, whoa, the intestines are inflamed and I'm not getting the hormones I need. Dopamine, a reward hormone made in your intestines. Serotonin, a satiety, like a feel good. Oh man, I love it. Made in your intestines. Epinephrine, energy, norepinephrine, focus, all made in your gut. So if you're eating foods you're sensitive to, if you're eating classic inflammatory foods, dairy, wheat, soy, rice, corn, oats, nightshades, etc., then you're causing damage to your intestines, and it can lead to an overgrowth of bacteria or fungus, and that's the SIBOs and their connection to brain fog. So there we go, guys. It could be lingering long COVID. It could be an underactive thyroid. It could be the lack of you sleeping well. It could be deficiencies in your diet, lack of good oxygenation, blood flow, subluxation, atlanto-occipital alignment issues, your spine being out of alignment. It can be an infection with fungus or bacteria in your gut. So do you see why it's so important that you test and figure out what's going on with your health rather than just going, well, I'm going to go see my doctor and I'm going to try to get a medication to make me more focused. It doesn't exist. You can do it by yourself. So I hope you found today to be helpful and informative. If you have a specific show topic this year that you want us to talk about, AskDrErnst.com, click the Contact Us section, and let me know what you want to heal from. Listen, I'm here for you. I listen every single week to the thousands of emails we get, and I go, all right, this is what we need to talk about this week. So you have the ability to get me to speak to your condition when you visit the website and you contact us. All right, so thank you for joining us today. I hope you found it to be informative. I know I said that only till 3:30, but look, I'm going to just, whatever. Here we go. If you text over right now, this is the last chance. Guys, the show's going to end in exactly 17 seconds. 704-906-2094. Your name and your email. I'm giving you free backstage access to the webinar I hosted today, which is going to get you 20 pounds down in 20 days, 30 pounds down in 30 days, medications cut back, and disease gone in as little as 6 months. And it works because I've been doing it for 15 years. 704-906-2094. Name and email, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.